So this is something that I've actually struggled with quite a lot myself. When I was younger, kind of 14, 15 years old, I had short pimples on my backhand and I generally just kind of block and punch with that. And I was relatively passive with my forehand as well. Like I spent a lot of my matches playing quite passively, trying to control the point. My blocking was always a strength, but then my looping and attacking play was always much lower for my level than other people that I'd meet at tournaments. And sometimes I'd beat good players simply by keeping the ball short, blocking them off, moving it around. So it's kind of similar to what you're saying here. When I went to Grantham at 18 years old, that was when it really dawned on me that I did need to change my game to an extent. I needed to become a bit more confident actually attacking, so that if I was playing someone who wasn't giving me stuff to kind of feed off, then I could actually dominate the point myself with loops and shots like that. Now changing it's much easier to say than to actually do in practice, and I remember going to tournaments where I had in my mind that I wanted to play a lot more aggressively and then being really frustrated as I just block and push and kind of go back to my old game. And even recently in the last few years I've still had times where I struggle with that and I've played too passively and I've lost games because of it. When it comes to actually changing, I mean the main thing is you need to be practicing playing in that aggressive way. So when I was younger, a lot of my practice, in my mindset, it was always keep the ball on for as long as possible, kind of be really consistent, and that was kind of my aim. And then that led to me developing this kind of passive game. From 18 to 20 at Grantham, my mindset when training was always a lot more about improving the quality of my shots. I'm trying to get in first, playing in a more kind of aggressive and attacking way. So that's the first thing you need to do. Then making that transition from the practice to the matches can be tricky as well, and one way to do it is maybe to drop down a level, or just find players to play that you feel like you will be able to beat comfortably, and that kind of frees you up to then experiment playing kind of in a slightly different, more aggressive style than you would normally. Because if you're playing people that you're normally pretty 50-50 with, you just don't want to start playing in a different style, lose to them, you've got to deal with them. Like, it's no good going around telling everyone, oh, I lost because I'm trying out this new style. Like, nobody buys it. But if that's what you're doing in reality, then playing kind of against slightly lower ranked players that you can expect to beat, then you can start thinking, right, well, this time I'm going to try and get in my forehand loop on every long push instead of pushing it back, or I'm going to try not to block anything but to try and always do like a little counter shot instead. So I think that is kind of a really good way to then go from, yes, you've got to do all the practice, but then to get that practice actually becoming your game and what you do in the tournaments, you need that bit in between. And I think playing against people that you expect to beat quite easily and you think you'll still be able to beat even if you're experimenting your game is one way to do it. And I guess the other way is just to play against people that are way above you, that you should definitely lose to them anyway, even if you're playing your best kind of blocking, pushing game, and therefore the pressure is off and you can have a go at just attacking. So that would be my suggestion. It's not easy changing your game, but it's definitely worth doing, and it's definitely worth, even if kind of blocking is a strength, it's worth developing kind of the attacking aspects of the game as well. So I hope that helps you, and if you need any more advice, feel free to hit me back with an email or something, and I'll do my best to help you out.